Hey guys, it's your girl Kim. I'm back again with another video. I know it's late. It's about what time is it? It's 11:30. I know it's a little late. After I got done cooking, I got on the computer and started working on my Shopify store. It is live. If you'd like to go check it out, you can go to inspirational comfort dot myshopify.com, and that's my Shopify boutique. Still adding things, still learning my way around, getting ready to take a course Friday on how to build it even better. um, I've had the past couple of days off and I've just been relaxing, chilling, but I wanted to talk about something a little serious. For me, it's serious. I don't know about anybody else. But the question that I asked myself earlier, because I oftentimes have conversations with myself because I don't understand a lot of things. So the question that I thought to myself is, why do men take the first step? They approach you and they want to be friends, they want to see where things go or whatever. And then when that conversation is reciprocated and we give them good positive feedback, and then when we start asking the hard questions, we don't get responses. Now, I am not the best person um, relationship wise. I don't ask me for no uh, relationship advice. Um, or you know what, I shouldn't say that, because I've been through some things, been married 3 times, twice to the same person. And so I've been through some things, and I've come through some things. I've been delivered from some things. So I guess I would be a good person to, ask relationship questions too. But that question I asked, because when you ask the questions, what are your intentions? What is your purpose in seeking this friend slash relationship? What are your expectations? What first attracted you to me? How did you know that, you were looking at me as more than just a friend or whatever? When those questions come, the answers aren't, you're not met with answers. Maybe it's because the answers have to be thought out. But for me, if you have to sit and take the time to rehearse, then maybe you should have taken a little bit more time before you pursued that woman, or even that man. But for this conversation, it's pertaining men. um, and so if you have to think about it, if you have to rehearse it, then you should probably think about asking her to be your girlfriend, or your woman or whatever. But at 51 years old, you ain't got no business being nobody's girlfriend. No way. um, we've already done that, been there, done that. I have been a girlfriend, I have been a baby mother, I have been a wife, and at 51, I am just not being anyone's girlfriend. I'm not being anyone's side chick. I'm not being anyone's option. And so, to avoid wasting time on his part and my part, I'm just keeping it all the way transparent. Now, will I, share everything in the first few conversations? No, probably not. Definitely not. But you better believe that we are not going to have more than 5 conversations where you do not know everything that I bring to the table. We are definitely going to have conversations about my life, the things that I've been through, my past relationships, different things like that. Not holding any secrets, not keeping anything back. because I've been there and I've done that. And where I am today, it's not healthy. And so, with being healthy spiritually, emotionally, and physically, that includes, where you've been, what you've gone through, things like that. We cannot expect men to read our mind. We cannot expect them to know how we're feeling if we won't talk to him, or if we're afraid to talk to him, or if we're afraid that if he knows this part of me, maybe it'll scare him away. Well, maybe it will, but maybe it won't. If it scares him away, then he's just he's not the man for you, and he would not be built for the relationship between you and him. If he stays around, then so be it. But I'm just curious to all of those things because it's been a while since I've been in any relationship with anybody. Um, and so, I don't have, I don't know, sometimes I think I don't have it anymore. Um, but it's not always a bad thing to be by yourself. Um, but I want to share my story, what I've been through. Um, and I think once I share my story, people will better understand, um, the person that I am today. People will better understand why my mindset is the way it is today. Um, why I am in this place of no nonsense. I'm not putting up with any foolishness. No, sir, no, ma'am, not doing that anymore. I've done it long enough, and I'm not doing it anymore. Um, and so, like I said, I want to share my story, and I would like to be able to use my platforms to do that. I have a YouTube channel. I'm on Facebook. I'm on Instagram, and I would like to share my story, um, because someone's breakthrough is definitely connected to my story, and so me being able to share my experiences with someone, um, will help someone else. It'll help me. Um, and then not only that, I'm being obedient to the Holy Spirit, and sharing my story. Right now, I cannot share my story where I work. Um, it's just not the platform. It's not the. Um, it just can't happen there. Um, and I don't know, if me sharing my story on my platforms here, YouTube and Facebook, I don't know what kind of issue that would create. But I'm not ashamed of anything that I've been through. I'm no longer ashamed. I'm no longer embarrassed about the things that I've been through because they created the person that I am today. God gave me what He knew I could handle because He created me. And so He knew what I could handle. And I'm not embarrassed about any parts of my life anymore. I'm not embarrassed about any parts of my story anymore. Um, and to be truthful, I think that maybe my story would even help somebody where I work at. Um, but, when and if God wants that to happen, even though I work where I work, man says one thing, but God has the final say so. And, like I share with the women, it's not a job for me. It's not a job. It's not a job at all. I enjoy going there every day. I enjoy the pay. I enjoy the benefits, of course, but that's not a job for me. I'm on assignment. And when you're on assignment, things hit differently. The way you act, the way you speak, the things that you do. They hit differently when you're on assignment. It's like an assignment that you have for school. When you're committed to that work, you do it and you do it to the best of your ability. And so, my assignment I take very seriously. And it's like I shared the other day, if of all the women that are there, if only one of them turns her life around, gives her life over to Christ, and walks the way that God would have her to walk, then my assignment will be complete. When God says it's time for me to move on, it'll be time for me to move on. And so I'm thankful and I'm grateful to have been called by God. I'm thankful and I'm grateful to have been chosen by Him for such a task. Um, but the person that I am at work, I try to be that same person, in my own personal life. I try to encourage myself on a regular basis, but sometimes it gets hard because I don't know. I don't know. I try to keep myself encouraged and, keep myself motivated. And I know that, all things take time. Nothing comes overnight. But I'm just ready to be where I'm supposed to be. I'm ready to have my businesses going. I'm ready to have my book, my cookbook almost done, and so many things happen. But one thing I do know for a fact, when you're this close to your breakthrough, the enemy gets so busy. He gets so busy trying to distract and just everything, because he knows that that breakthrough is right there. And so, with me trying to make sure that I don't turn around and walk away, I don't have a choice. I can't turn back to, like the song says, I won't go back. I can't go back to the way things used to be. I can't. Um, and so, um, every day is a reminder that, okay, Lord, I thank you because you brought me out. You brought me through another day. You brought me, to this place. And so, like I said, I want to share my story. I want to use my platform. Um, and I don't know what the consequences would be, professional wise. Um, but I can't let what man says determine what God already said. Because gives the final say. So God gives the final answer, and He's the head of my life. He leads, guides, and directs my footsteps, my thoughts, my the things that I say. He leads, guides, and directs me in those things. And so I refuse to let man dictate how I am about my Father's business. Um, and so it has been on me heavy a little lately. That it's probably about that time for me to share my story. It's probably time for me to share my story. It's time for me to help whoever she is, because she's someone that I probably don't know her personally, but she's someone that will look at my video, or if I do a live, she's someone that will watch my live and say, "Oh my goodness, this is her. This is who I've been waiting to hear from. This is my story." Um, and I must warn you, that it's not all pretty. It's not all roses. It's not. I would be lying if I said that it was a beautiful tragedy, but it's not. I am still here by the grace of God. By God's grace, I'm still here. Um, it's because of His mercy. It's because of His love that He has for me, that I'm still here. And so, you know, all the glory, all the praise, and all the honor belongs to Him. Because if it wasn't for Him, I don't know. Yes, I do. If it was not for God, I wouldn't be here right now. I wouldn't be able to sit and have this conversation. I wouldn't be able to sit and share, the things that I share, if it wasn't for God. Um, do I still go through stuff? Of course, I'm human. I'm not perfect. I'm striving, but and I won't see that until I get to heaven. So yeah, I do still go through things, but my struggles aren't what they used to be. I don't struggle with the things that I used to struggle with. I don't struggle with uh, relationships. I don't struggle. I don't struggle with those things anymore. I'm just like whatever. If it happens, it happens. If it doesn't, that's fine too. But one thing I'm not going to do is play games. One thing I'm not going to do is have games played with me. One thing I am not going to do is settle. Everything that I do from here on out is done with a purpose. There's a purpose for everything. God has a purpose for my pain. God has a purpose for my life. God has a purpose for everything that happens in my life. And so everything that I do is purposeful. When I begin dating, the dating is for a purpose. I go to work for a purpose, that's for sure. Every day that I go to work, it's for a purpose. Not just to become financially okay or anything like that, but there's a purpose. God has a purpose for me to be there. Everything that happens in my life, there's a purpose for. And so, me being able to share with someone, another woman, it's time. It's time. And you never know. Me sharing my story, may cause me to have even greater breakthroughs. But, we'll see, and you will know. I love you all. And